But so here's a story from that period, which basically is going to seem really modern. This is a true historical story. It's the story of the Angel of Hadley. Hadley is a small town in Massachusetts, and in King Philip's War, which is the 1670s, I believe, there's this incident that happened in Hadley where, sort of everything's been at peace for a while. Then King Philip is an Indian king, and he's like, no, we're going to exterminate all these goddamn whites, and he gets pretty close. He does, it's a real touch and go thing. And this town of Hadley, which is this nice little English dissenter Puritan town, suddenly finds itself under attack by the Native Americans. And they're like, we're all going to be scalped by First Peoples, right? And give it up. There's nothing to do. And then suddenly an angel appears. This angel takes the form of an old man, and he's wearing really weird clothes that nobody's ever seen before. And he comes out and he's like, I know what to do. Follow me. He's like, you're going to put the cannon here. You're going to do that. You're going to do this. They fight off the Indians. The First Peoples, and
these are Protestants, right?
Yes,
these are all apparitions.
Yeah, the apparition. But this happens. This is real.
Sorry.
And angels are not really a Protestant thing, but this actually happens. And a great American named Thomas Hutchinson, who wrote this wonderful critique of the Declaration of Independence called "Strictures on the Declaration." It's the funniest thing ever. And he was also a historian. His house and library were burned by the Boston mob. He was, of course, a royalist, and, it all ends in tears. But Thomas Hutchinson, in his younger days as a historian, looks into this affair of the Angel of Hadley, and he figures out what happened. What happened is, as you may know, in the Restoration, they have this wonderful idea called the Act of Indemnity and Oblivion, which is absolutely brilliant. And the whole idea is okay, this Cromwell thing, total shit show, rebellion, let's dig him up and hang him again. But let's have peace. Let's chill out. Let's not have massive violence and, so we're going to have an amnesty for basically everyone involved in this shit show, except the regicides. The so-called jury that, quote, tried, unquote, Charles I. All of these people gotta die. And so the people on this jury don't really take well to this. And so what some of them, 2 or 3 of them do, is a very logical thing. They flee to this dissenter colony. Cromwell himself at one point considered emigrating to America. They flee to this, colony of basically Cromwellites across the Atlantic Ocean. And even after they flee, things are such in New England that these regicides can't live openly flouting the crown. So the Angel of Hadley turns out to be actually this Civil War general named General Goffey, who was one of Charles I's, quote, judges, unquote. And basically he's hiding in an attic like Anne Frank. And he comes out, and he's still a military man.
So he's actually real.
Yeah, he's actually real. Right. He's just a real person. And he's dressed in weird old clothes because that's the clothes he has. Right? He's actually a real person. And so, it's a sort of, 17th century moment where you sort of glimpse kind of modern politics in the world of the 17th century. Or if you